Hace poco me dio el interés de entrevistar. Siento que es un medio de arte en sí y que puede tener un poco de talento para eso. Y estoy feliz de haber podido tener a mi primer invitado. En este video entrevistaré a Isaac Hernández Jaramillo, un director basado en Salt Lake City, Utah, y dueño de Route 22. Más sobre eso más adelante. Fue una muy buena entrevista, aprendí mucho de él y espero que ustedes también la disfruten. Esta entrevista fue hecha en inglés, pero no se preocupen que todo estará subtitulado para quien lo necesite. Ahora sí, que empiece la entrevista. Okay, so thank you so much for coming, man. I'm really glad you accepted.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited to be here. It was so cool seeing you just message and being like, "Hey, can we hop on a video call?" It's like the first time it's happened to me, so this is sick.
Okay, well, for the people who don't know you, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Isaac Hernandez Jaramillo. I am a director, cinematographer in Utah. I run my own like small production company called Route 22 Films, where it's a team of me, like 5 people. We've been posting on YouTube mainly. It started off as like a solo YouTube channel, and as I've continued on in filmmaking, I've added more to the team, and now I've been just kind of focusing on cinematography and producing and just handing the other roles off to different people. And we've just been making what we can.
I was gonna ask you what was your role in Route 22, but I think you do a lot of things, right?
Yeah, so I am the creator of Route 22, and originally I was trying to direct a lot. But like some of the people that are in Route 22, there is Christina, there is Holland, there is Nate, and there is Carter. Carter currently moved to California, so he's kind of like out the picture. He's kind of more of like an honorary member, but he'll still help out when he can and when he's in the state. Like, for example, he flew in and we filmed his directing project or like something he wanted to direct just a couple days ago, and now he's back in Cali. Then there's Holland, who likes to direct, but he's kind of staying on like cinematographer and trying to be like a gaffer and handling all the lighting. Christina is definitely like our main director. She's probably got the most experience as the director. Um, Nate kind of bounces around between lighting, being a camera assistant, and then he's also like our main editor. He loves editing, and so with all these different people, I decided that what would be best for our projects and stuff is if I tried producing to help things run smoothly. If I was the director of photography, mainly just because I enjoy it the most, um, and writer, because I love writing stories, and then, for example, handing it off to Christina, and then I can just decide visually how I want it, and she can decide everything else.
Oh, I
Sorry,
was
that's a
gonna ask
long
you,
answer.
like, what was like what is like the workflow? Like, how do you start like the idea and then the whole process up to like the being uploaded on YouTube? Like, what's the process?
Yeah, it kind of depends on the project. Like, for example, there's been some recent projects. There is Death's First Day, which is something I directed, that I
Mm-hmm.
directed because of a school assignment. So we basically had to write it and keep it to like the school requirements, but then I still wanted it to be posted on YouTube. So I just kind of approached it as if it was going to through those two avenues. Witches of Magna, Christina directed for a competition. So
Oh,
there's not like a set standard, but usually what happens is me and Christina have an idea, and then recently I've tend to start writing them. I get so excited when it comes to producing, I can't stop thinking about it. And then Christina also kind of helps bring me back, and we work with each other really well because me and Christina are the main producers. Carter was our third, but again, since he's in Cali, he's not as involved
right.
anymore. So we just kind of move back and forth until we feel ready for the project. We try to set a film day just so we have deadlines and stuff. And then yeah, we just yeah. Is there a certain? Did I answer that well? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like
Yeah.
I was really curious because like I saw that you were making constant like films and
Yeah.
also you made a music video and I was just like wondering like how are they like organizing themselves or how are they managed to making like constant like work, you're updating
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
portfolio.
What really helps is Nate edits most of them. So, or even Christina, like Christina edited our most recent music video, and she's actually got. We have another music video shoot this Friday that she also is directing and editing. So it's just kind of like art, like when it comes to music videos, we just are slowly becoming friends with more artists that, and then we're just going, hey, can we make you a music video just to try to grow our portfolio? Um, yeah, I also posted on Facebook Marketplace, literally just going, let me make your
Mm.
business a commercial. And some people have reached out. Honestly, nothing has gone anywhere yet, but I'm starting to get like a little bit of engagement. So it's literally just trying to like open your arms and kind of let any work in. I know if you watch a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of YouTubers will say like stay like pick a certain lane, and that's like what
Mm.
you'll get hired for, which I do agree. I think part of it is Route 22 trying to figure out where they want to go, because I do want it to be narrative films, but at the moment we can't just supply, like we also are trying to make money. Like I want to go
Yeah.
full-time
Mm.
freelance this year if I can. So it's kind of just doing whatever I can, building a portfolio, building all of our portfolios really, so that we can start getting hired and honestly become more narrative focused likely.
I mean, yeah, like I guess to get to that point, like everybody has to like do a little bit of everything, right?
Yeah,
Like some
exactly.
people you gotta edit, you gotta direct, you gotta write.
Yep. So we just try to play on what people like to do, but
Yeah.
everyone does a lot.
I was gonna ask you, what is like your favorite project, your favorite film that you've done with Route 22, or even not even Route 22, like even before
Um,
Route 22.
so I could give you like two answers. Is that okay? One for Route 22 and one for the
Yeah.
other. Okay, sick. For Route 22, it would probably be. Ooh, I'm probably gonna be partial to something I had a bigger role in. Like I love Witches of Magna, but that's actually when me and Christina first met. So
Mm.
I think it's a great film. I think it's one of the I probably think it's like the best overall film on Route 22. But I do have a soft spot for like Death's First Day since I directed it, and I
I
just
rewatched it this morning.
yeah. Is it
I like
is
that.
it still okay?
Yeah, yeah, I like that. I like that.
Sick. And then so probably Death's First Day. There's another one coming out, who knows when, but we just shot it. Holland directed it this time. I was a cinematographer, and it is a horror comedy. And it is like a sequel. It's like the third in a trilogy to his last two, like Little Hands films, which is what they're called.
Mm.
Um, and those were both shot on his iPhone, just with his friends before he even we met, before he went to like film school or anything. So now we're coming in with the third one, just a lot higher quality. So I'm excited to see how that looked,
Cool.
or how that looks. So that's probably my actual favorite right now. Um, and when it comes to outside of Route 22, one of my favorites is probably I think that we started filming in within the first year of me graduating high school. It is called "Till Death Do Us Part." I was just a grip on it, but you if you can find
I
posts about
think
it,
I
but you have to scroll way back.
I think I watched it.
You
The Do Us Apart.
likely did. It got posted on
The name sounds
what's
familiar. I think I did.
what's that YouTube channel that posts a whole bunch of short films? Like Omleto. I never know how to pronounce it.
Yeah. Something
Uh,
like that. Yeah.
yeah, but it got posted on there too, and it was just like my first time being like a grip and working with lighting, and since then I've become really close friends with the creators of that short, and so it was awesome because that was really what helped me learn so much in like so little time, and it was just so fun. I got to work with all professionals, so it was that holds a special place in my heart. Whew, sorry, long answer.
It's alright. I was gonna ask you, because where I live, it's a pretty like hot desert area. There's not a lot
Yeah,
of green.
yeah,
It's pretty sad to to look where I am.
uh
But I
huh.
was gonna ask you, like, how has your location where you live has it influenced the way you make film, like either the story or
I w-
the just the technique in
yeah,
general?
yeah, I would say definitely, because I live in Utah. I hate how all the new buildings look. I kind of hate the architecture. I think that's the word, of just like honestly the state for the most part. I really like all the older looking stuff, and that's just a habit I have. I just like character being in all the buildings, and so if we're filming outside or filming any building, I want to try to find place with some sort of personality, or that I can give some sort of personality. So you won't find me filming in a lot of the newer houses, or at least the outside of a lot of the newer houses. I also hate the snow, and Utah has like actual winters. Recently, it hasn't snowed as much, but it has like we've had to adjust to the time frame of some of our short films because of it. So it's just kind of working with the weather mostly. Um, but I wish we had more. Like we actually do have a lot more fun outside things. Like Utah has a lot of mountains and stuff. I just none of my stories have needed it yet, so I haven't been using like the environment to its fullest potential.
When you said about like the houses, I remember in that first day I had this doubt this morning. Was that a house like of the crew, or was that like an Airbnb, or whose house
That
was that?
that was Carter's grandparents' like second house. Like they just had like an empty house, which is insane. So
Okay.
they just kind of let us use it.
Oh, cool. Okay. I was watching the video and they were like calling him. I was like, well, like, is that his house? Like, whose
Yeah,
house
yeah,
is that?
yep.
Oh, I was gonna ask you, how old are you?
I no, I just turned 21 last September.
21. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. It's because I found you through your video. I saw you. I told you by Instagram, right? I told you that I found you with the video of that you had your premiere on a movie theater.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. It's you put a title at 18 years old, and I was so like,
Yep.
oh, that's so cool, like so young, and like being able to have that experience.
Yeah.
And I just want to ask you, like, how was that experience of attending like a movie theater and having your movie in like a
Yeah.
poster and like all the presentation, like that
Yeah.
just seems so like a cool experience.
It is super cool. But also, you'll get this every time. You sit there and you just worry about everything you don't like, and you worry that everyone else is gonna also hate those things. So that was honestly one of the most prominent things. But one of the best things uh, you can ever experience, at least in my opinion, is sitting in a theater and people actually laughing at the jokes. Like that gives me so much relief, and it makes me so happy because it feels like it's actually connecting, you know. And just fun fact, that was the first time my parents, because my parents went to the premiere with me, my family did,
Mhm.
and my mom said as I walked down the stairs to go talk on the stage, in real time she saw like my personality change. Since then I've like leveled out. I'm pretty the same everywhere, but I was a lot more shy like with family, and then as soon as I got to the stage, I like actually stood up straight, like I was asking for the mic, answering questions. So it, like, honestly for me, it was a confidence booster. It felt like I could, like, it just felt like this was possible, you know. That
Mm.
was like the main thing, feeling I got
That's
from
so
that.
cool. I've made a short film. I have
Mm.
a little bit of work under my
I've
name.
actually watched your films. I've gone
Really?
to your channel. Yeah, I like way before you messaged me, because me and Holland have seen your letterbox things and all that. So we
Oh,
keep track. We're trying to get like a 5-star from you, because I think you always give like 3 or 3.5. We're trying to break
yeah.
through. It's like our goal each time.
You're pressuring me now.
No, 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 no. Keep. Don't give us the score unless we deserve it.
Well, I was gonna say that I sort of had a theater experience. I had a short film. I made
Mhm,
it on like a school project, sort of,
mhm,
and that school had an auditorium, and they said, "Oh, we're gonna showcase all of the short films," and I was like, "That's so cool," because
mhm.
it was full. That was full. Like that was
Yeah,
packed of people,
yeah.
and I happened to meet two times. The first time I was just like a sort of a writer. I didn't do much in
Mhm,
that movie.
mhm.
But in the second one, I wrote it and I directed it, and like just seeing people there like watching it,
Mhm.
and then I think I wrote a joke in there and they laughed, and I was like, yes,
Yep,
yes,
it's awesome.
it feels so good. And then of course they clap. Well, yeah, they clap at the ending. They took a little though. They took a little at the ending. I was like, did they get it or not?
Oh, like
But
take a
yeah,
second to then start.
yeah, they all took a second. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that felt weird.
Yep. No, no, no. Trust me, that happens so much. It's because no one wants to be the first clap. That's what it is, because they don't want to
Yeah.
be like too early.
Well,
Dude, can I ask you? Sorry, I didn't mean to
yeah,
interrupt.
yeah,
I'm just
fine,
curious.
dude.
How old are you?
I am 17 right now.
Oh, you're 17. Okay, 66.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I mean, I suppose with every, I know with like every little project you make, even if it's like small, you learn something. Or like you learn
Hmm.
like, oh, I shouldn't, probably shouldn't do that, or
Hmm.
maybe that's my new style. Is there
Yeah.
something that you learned from making Right Club that you've like been using ever since?
Um, I think that the main thing I learned from Right Club that still affects me to this day is trying to be a good producer, actually. Because naturally, when you work with a lot of high school students, there is a varying level of maturity, of dedication, of all of
Mm,
that, you know? So I remember me and this kid, his kid Michael, he also worked on the film. We really tried to help bring it together in ways that we saw no other students were helping with, and that's not a knock on anybody else. Like at the end of the day, this was a big project that we were all doing for fun, you know. And so if you're not having fun, you're not going to want to do it. Just me and Michael really were having fun, so
mm,
together we really tried to basically become good producers on that project. We were handling a lot of the organization of kind of everything of the production, and just handling all that stress is really what has helped me and really taught me that what I want on my sets is just I want people to have fun. And of course everyone's like, I want to have fun, but like I legitimately like I don't care about the final project unless the onset experience was fun or at least good, you know, because putting people through something that they hate for like my own vision is just not something that I feel comfortable with. So just from Right Club to now is just trying to learn how to run good sets, how to have as much pre-production done as possible, and just making things run smoothly.
uh, when you said that, like sheds, what the set, that sets to be fun.
Yeah.
It reminded me of when I first tried to direct something, and
Hmm.
it was really awkward, really horrible. I'm very introverted. I'm very shy, and
Hmm.
to me, it was sort of a struggle to like be like a figure of like leadership or like expressing what I wanted.
Hmm.
And so I wanted to ask you, because I was watching your like behind the scenes, and you seems, well, you and like everybody, everyone like flowed like very easily. Everyone just like da, 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 and it just seemed like everyone was having fun. So I just
Hmm.
wanted to ask you, like, what's your like main advice for a director like someone like me that's having struggles with being communicative and just
Hmm.
like not trying to being like a figure of leadership
Yeah.
in the set.
Yeah. Can I ask a question before that, just to help my answer?
Yeah.
When you are a director, do you experience people always almost like trying to change the idea when you talk to them? They're like, okay, but what
Yeah,
about?
sort of.
Yeah.
Like a little. Mostly it was people just not being like very dedicated to it, and it was hard for me to like put them on, like, make them active. But yeah, there were some points where I was like, they changed something, and me being very shy, I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
let's keep it that way.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I still struggle with that too. What I would say is like you being 17 and in like class and stuff, you're naturally going to deal with people that aren't as dedicated, you know, like really a lot of the ease like on our side, like the BTS is really because we're all either in film school or at least like
Mm,
actually trying to do film, so that in itself already just kind of makes things easier. But even in high school, like I dealt with that. And so what I would say is just like as a director, it is your job to have the vision, to be specific about what you want, but also be open to ideas and specifically making people feel heard with their ideas. So, you know, when it comes to giving a direction, just knowing what you want. So maybe doing like one take with what you want. And if like your actor, for example, is really adamant about this, let them do it real quick. You can choose yours anyways when you're editing. You know what I mean? Just making everybody feel respected.
yeah.
Like in the BTS, there's so much cut out, but like set deck, Christina was always coming with ideas, and with the set deck, I wasn't too picky about a lot of it. I think, if I remember correctly, so I was just like, sure, go ahead, you know. So it's just like maintaining your control, but like not to a dictatorship level, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah. That was like they were asking me questions when I was directing. And I was like, I don't know. It's
Hmm.
like I feel like you have to be maybe confident is the word, I guess, with your vision and what you want exactly, and but also I need to work on my expressing it, you know.
Hmm. No, and honestly, a lot of it comes from, like, for example, pre-production, and just having as much stuff nailed down as possible so you can account for this. And like, I don't know if you have like friends or actors with you right now that are like really like into the ideas and stuff, but if they are, even if they aren't, like, just like text them and like kind of, if they just say like, if you have any questions, let me know. That's always a good one. And just be willing to kind of like talk to them a little bit beforehand, so like once you get on set, the idea is a little bit clearer and you guys are just a little bit more comfortable talking to each other, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now I'm gonna hit you with like the letterbox type of question. What are
Hmm.
your 4 favorite movies?
Like, of all time. All right, bet. I'm pulling up my letterbox right now. Okay, because I don't remember. I'm such a snob that I like change it all the time. Okay, one is Thunderbolts, the Marvel movie. I love it. I just love ensemble films. I love films that make people feel like families or friends. It's as much like I really did have that as a kid, but where I diverted was just I wasn't like similar to a lot of them, and because like I had divorced parents like from before I could remember them together, I essentially always had like two different personalities. So I never could really relate to anyone. I've always fallen in love with just these movies and these TV shows where just groups of people just come together and like end up, loving each other, working well with each other. Um, I love the color grade of Thunderbolts. I love the music. I'm such like, I used to be a super big comic fan, not as much anymore, but I still stand by the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's honestly, and like Thunderbolts is like one of the biggest comfort films for me. All right, number two
What about your second one?
is Stand and Deliver. I don't know if you've ever heard of this.
Stand and Deliver. The name sounds familiar, but no, I haven't seen it.
It's based on a real story. It's about a high school teacher that comes to a school that like gets such low test scores and stuff that they kind of like, the teachers and stuff kind of stops caring about the students on the lower end, right? And he comes in and he basically forces them to take a college test in his class. He makes them really learn math, all from like, like the school gangsters to the school nerds, just like all around in that class. It's another ensemble film where they all become really close, and just the way it's a real story, and it's about a lot of like Latinos and people of color, and just showing a real story of us breaking past expectations and breaking the barrier. And yeah, and like honestly, like I'm Latino, but I can't roll my R's. I'm basically a Nosabo kid, which is really embarrassing. But just it's one of those movies that almost helped me not feel so isolated from my own culture in a way. Like it's not at all necessarily based on like Latino culture or anything, but it's something that I could relate to. And just especially, I have a lot of family in Cali, so it just felt like a very personal film with me, especially since I've been growing up watching it. The third one is Chef by Jon Favreau. I don't know if you've heard of this
I
one.
have not heard of it.
Dude, I'm giving you so many good movies, I swear.
I'm gonna add it to my list after this.
Chef is do you know who Jon Favreau is, for chance?
Sounds familiar.
He is the director of the first two Iron Man movies.
Okay, yeah. That was right then.
Yeah, this movie was made after Iron Man 2 and all the drama of like Disney stepping in and making him add stuff that he wasn't. So this is literally a movie about him, but in chef form. And actually, all four of my favorite movies are comfort movies. So this one is also one just like building confidence in yourself. He has a son that he wasn't a good father to, like in this movie, that he becomes a good father to. So it's just Another one, I love cooking.
Yeah.
At least I love the idea of cooking. I'm trying to get better. I love what it looks like on screen. Um, Lots of Cuban music in this and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's just a nice little short watch, which I love. So,
All right. I'll add all of these to the watch list.
dude, you gotta let me know what you think. Number four is probably the only one I'd consider changing. I haven't looked at my top 10 in a while. So number four right now is Superman, which is funny because my girlfriend Christina hates this movie, and I absolutely adored it because it's a movie that made me feel like actually like it made me want to be a better person. And I think at the end of the day, that's what Superman is. And I just miss being, just corny with movies. It's so bright, like I don't know, just everything about it, like it's just so pure, almost. And it really like hit me, and especially like there's a scene where he flies out the rubble, and you just have like the
Yeah.
Superman shot, and it's just all of that. It just like it made me so happy, and it just hopeful, and it just again I just wanted to be a good person after it. So that's basically that one.
All right. And my last question, dude. Hypothetical question. If you
Hmm?
were able to create a roundtable meeting filled with five people who you would like to talk to coming from the filmmaking industry, it could be directors, actors, composers, cinematographers, whatever.
Yeah,
Who will they be and why?
five people. Okay, first I would say Miles Teller. He is an actor I've wanted to work with forever. He to me is like how Glenn Powell has slowly become a leading man in Hollywood
Yeah.
ever since like Top Gun, Twisters, and stuff. I think Miles Teller deserves to be a leading man. I'm just such a big fan. Glenn Powell, I would like to add on because he has grown into that leading man, and he just seems super down to earth. I would love to. Let's see who else. Old me would have said Quentin Tarantino. Now me does not say Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino has said a
I
lot
would
of
say Quentin
controversial
Tarantino.
things.
I'm still in my Tarantino phase.
I love his movies. It's just the stuff he said. It's kind of crazy. But if we're excluding that, I would say Quentin. But I'm gonna keep him off. I can't remember his name. Remind me, the guy who directed Whiplash and La La Land.
Damien Chazelle.
Damien Chazelle. Yes, he is number three. I love Babylon. I love La La Land. I love Whiplash. Both Whiplash and La La Land have been in my top 10 before. Babylon has not, even though I think Babylon's like one of those like perfect movies. Let's see. Okay, I got two more. I think I would like to meet Michael B. Jordan. I think I would like to add him in there. Such a huge fan. I would like to just talk to him a lot about directing Creed 3 as well, since he directed and acted in it. And, there's lots of anime influence. So I'm just curious in like how much trust he
Mm,
has to put in other people since he's on camera, for example, like the fight scenes, he can't see it in real time. So
mm.
just like how they go about that to make the set run as smoothly as possible while he still has to double check everything. And then who would the fifth one be? That's a good question. Kevin Feige.
Okay, like,
Yeah, just to pick his brain and just go, how do you balance all of these things?
his brain.
Like I don't know. Like I actually would love to make a superhero movie one day. Like I want to make one like maybe not like Superman, but just like I want to teach the same lessons as Superman
Mm,
in a sense, and like Spider Man and stuff like that. Like because another thing, I want to make a lot of like kid shows eventually, or like I want to make like I feel like a lot of kids TV right now is like just dumb. Like and I feel like every generation says that, but I feel like our generation like there's
this
like
one is right. This one
yeah
is true. This one
yeah
is the first one that's true.
exactly. So, and I know my Christina, she wants to be a director. She wants to direct a lot of like when she like say kids movies as in like The Sandlot or like Little Rascals and stuff. Like actually have kids in it just to have kids watch it and grow up with it. And I want something similar to that. Just not treat kids like they're dumb. So I think Kevin
Yeah.
Feige, in his own way, would help me with that.
All right. Well, that's it, man. Thank you. Thank you so much, man,
Yeah,
for coming to the interview. You are my
yeah.
first guest.
Well,
So if
thank
I
you so
ever
much.
become like cool, famous, I'll be like, Isaac was my first guest.
Dude, I'm so hyped. I will keep watching your stuff, and I'm super excited to see how you go about it. And if you ever have any
Yeah, thank you,
questions or
man.
need anything or or want another interview, just hit me up. Anything.
Okay. Yeah.
I got you.
All right.
So,
Thank you, man. Thank you, man.
of
Thank you so
course.
much.
Have a good day.
Sometimes the world is a valley of heartaches and tears, and in the hustle and bustle, no sunshine appears. But you and I